Hey YouTube, it's been a long time since I've talked about something eating disorder related on my channel, and that's mainly because it hasn't really been much of an issue for me until recently. I did start to relapse slightly over the summer, and it got to the point where I realised I had to do something or I would become completely powerless to my eating disorder, and I'd probably completely fail my A levels and there'd be no university and well, my life would probably be over. And I don't want that for my life. I don't think anyone wants that for their life. So I decided I was going to make a change and fight back. And I mean, bearing in mind I'm not in treatment, it is really, really hard. Today I want to talk about something I've been struggling with, and that is why the weight doesn't seem to go on the way it came off, or it doesn't seem to go on evenly. It all seems to go to the midsection, which, I mean, for any normal person it is the worst place to gain weight, but for an eating disordered person it's even worse, and the thoughts associated with that are even harder. So the Eurotopia site says it's because of vital organ insulation, which kind of makes sense because you've starved your body and your organs do need to protect themselves. So however horrible it is to go through, your body does know what it's doing, and it really does make sense as to why this is happening. And from my own experience, I know that the weight did eventually redistribute. When my body learned it could trust me to feed it properly and give it the nourishment it needed, I didn't end up being, looking pregnant all the time. I did eventually have a normally proportioned body. It just took time. I would say, I don't know how much time it took really. I mean, I don't know the point when the weight did redistribute before. I mean, it definitely took over a year, but I wasn't really in committed recovery. So maybe it could be different this time. It could be like less than a year or something. I don't know. And another reason I think that the weight just seems to go to the midsection, I think it's partly bloating. I mean, females bloat anyway just before they get their periods. I do. I suffer quite badly from that. And again, if you haven't been eating much, if you've been eating under 1,000 calories a day, or even if you've been eating, 1,500 calories, 1,000, any number of calories there is below the number you need to survive on a daily basis, the number you need to maintain your weight, the number you need to just be healthy. If you've been restricting to below that intake and you start eating above that intake, obviously because of extreme hunger and your body's screaming out for food, because it wants you to gain weight, you're going to suffer from a lot of bloating. It's going to happen. There's no other way to say it. It is just, you're going to bloat very easily. And I noticed it even before I started recovering again. Like, I'd eat a meal, a 500 calorie meal, like as my only meal of the day, or like a 200 calorie meal if I had it my own way, and that would make me bloated, which is ridiculous really. It's not really that much food, and it does make recovery so much harder, but the bloating will end eventually, and I know from my own experience that it did end eventually. You won't constantly have a food baby, you won't constantly look pregnant, and you're not going to constantly keep gaining. So that is some reassurance to myself and all of you out there who may be watching this video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!